Hi, everyone. Welcome to Career Day 2024, the recorded version of my presentation on filling in the gaps, be a better match for the job you want in just a weekend. My name is Jennifer Langley. I am a seasoned career and academic advisor with a profound passion for higher education. I am fueled by my admiration for innovative, strategic thinkers, and I am committed to guiding job seekers beyond conventional boundaries. Filling in the gaps. In today's competitive job market, addressing resume gaps is crucial for landing a job and advancing your career. Spend 30 minutes with me as I help you explore the strategic use of professional development and certification courses as powerful tools to fill in skill gaps and employment voids, enhancing your overall employment ability. Before we get started on my presentation, I wanted to share the why behind my passion for this area. And it starts with the words you see on this slide. How many of you have heard these terrible words before or a version of them? You do not have the skills we are looking for in a candidate, or we've decided to move forward with other candidates at this time. Hit those react buttons. Let's do a thumbs up emoji. I wish that it could be a thumbs down emoji, by the way, but let's hit a thumbs up emoji and show each other how many of us have been on the receiving side of this type of a rejection. I'm going to hop in and give you a thumbs up. Even though you probably can't see it in the presentation, I'm giving you a thumbs up because I have been on the other end of these words, and it stings and it burns. And when I became a career advisor and I learned there are ways I can help our learners match better to jobs and be standout candidate, I knew that was 100% going to be my topic for Career Day 2024. On a quick side note, before we get into the presentation, if you have experienced this type of rejection before, if you are about to enter the job search, if you're in the thick of the job search right now, my amazing coworkers, Jenn Marin and Brooke Brigham, are presenting this afternoon on this exact situation, turning setbacks into comebacks after job rejections, which I think would be a really great presentation to add to your day. All right, I would love to have you all participate a little. Again, you probably can't see me. I'm going to participate too, but in the recording piece of things, I don't think you can see my reactions, but I'll let you know what they are. I'd love to see you all kind of let me know what you think your definition for resume gap is. If you could join in, hit the react feature with a thumbs up if you think it is choice a resume gap being when you are missing qualifications. This would be things such as a bachelor's degree, 1 to 3 years experience, or how about that heart reaction if you think it is B, when you're missing skills or skill sets, things such as marketing, membership development, project management, different types of skills that they list out on job postings. So which do you think it is? Well, guess what? You're right, because both of the examples provided are the correct answers. Thanks so much for hopping in, sharing your thoughts. I don't know about you, but I really love it when there's no wrong answer. A resume gap is when your resume is not matching up to a job posting. This can mean anything from preferred skills, degree, years of experience, to qualifications, or all of the above. Don't miss out on an opportunity for an interview because of resume gaps. Let's get right into it and talk pro tips that I have learned over the last year. And as another quick plug, I want to make sure that you sign up for or go back on our YouTube channel after and watch. My colleague Angie Woods is going to be presenting on how to get experience you need on your resume to help with that very specific type of resume gap. So that'd be another great one to add to your lineup. Let me know. What about you guys? How have resume gaps steered your application journey? Let's give a thumbs up if missing skills have prevented you from applying for jobs, whether it's now or in the past, or how about a heart emoji if you took that leap of faith and jumped anyways? I know you probably can't see it, but I'm going to give you both a thumbs up and a heart emoji. I have been on both sides where I have been a little bit intimidated to apply for a job and ended up not doing it because I didn't think I was qualified. And I have been on the side of things where I decided I was going to take that leap of faith and apply anyways. And I think we've all come across, resume gaps. None of us are really 100% matched for a job unless the job was written and created for us on what we're already doing. So we all have experienced this in some fashion. This is a normal part of the job search experience, and it is most likely the main reason why many of you are here and you've chosen to get a degree or a certification or a license to fill some form of gap. Why are resume gaps significant, and how can they get in your way? So the absence of skills listed in qualifications and years of experience on your resume or your application may hinder your chances of getting a job, or even worse, of getting an interview. Let's talk about how they can get in your ways, those specific examples. Well, first, there is employability concerns, which would mean the lack of relevant skills. They might wonder, can you do this job? There's also the ATS. We'll backtrack real quick. The ATS is short for Applicant Tracking System. If you're not familiar with that, it is a screening software that scans for specific keywords and percent matches from resumes to a job posting. So companies will use it to filter out people that are not a good match for their jobs. If you're missing these types of skills or you're not matching well, then you might not make it through the automated screening process. So that applicant tracking system is definitely a way that this can get in your way. With job performance expectations, this would suggest that the gaps on your resume indicate you'd not be able to meet the roles and responsibilities of the job. And with company needs, the skills and qualifications listed in a job posting typically reflect the specific needs of the hiring company. If you lack those skills, it might suggest that you're not an ideal fit for the company's current requirements. There are many ways your career advisor can help you fill in resume gaps. And for the sake of time, I'm just going to share a few with you today. If you want a more in-depth personal experience on additional ways that I didn't get a chance to talk about today, please connect with a career advisor. We love what we do, and resumes are a big part of what we do. So let's begin with how to identify gaps and move into a few ways to customize your resume and fill gaps. The first way to begin filling gaps is to identify them. When I'm working with a learner on a career journey, one way I assist in identifying gaps is to explore some job postings alongside their resume with a tool called JobScan. In this app, I can run a report that identifies the gaps for us, and it allows me and the student to start making adjustments to their resume to be a better match. Oftentimes, this is changing and manipulating words that are authentic to the learner and their experience, but better matching it to the job posting. JobScan has a free version you can use. There's also 3 membership opportunities, I think 3 different levels of membership that you can join if you wanted. If you are looking for a very specific career, or you are holding out for something that you are passionate about, it might not be a terrible investment. It's a really great tool, and it could definitely help you over the weekends when we're not open, or late in the evenings if something comes across that you don't want to miss the opportunity to apply for right away. However, we can work with you here in Career Services with this app, and we can help you with those reports. Using JobScan, this is what it looks like. So you're going to see these 2 snapshots. The first is what the website looks like when you begin to create a scan. So that box on the far left-hand side, copy your resume and job description. You're going to copy your resume into one box and then the job description into another. Or if you're using a career services advisor, this is what we're going to do for you. Then we're going to hit scan, and we are going to run a report. Once you upload your resume and get that scan, the report on the far right-hand side is going to populate. The report is going to highlight the percentage in which you match to a job posting right now, as well as other key components such as missing qualifications, experience, skills, education, and more. You should know if you're going to try this on your own, or even if you're going to use this working with a career advisor. That 75% match that you're seeing right now is not typical of a first or second scan, unless you are, again, if I was applying for a career services job, another career services job, I might be at a 60 or 75% match just because I've been doing the job for a while. However, institution to institution, it changes. They're looking for different skill sets and qualifications, different mission statements and values that are important to them. So even then, probably still am not going to be a 75% match right away. This is typically we see maybe after 2 or 3 scans and kind of adding some things in. So just so you know, I don't want you to be disappointed if you download this app and use it, and then you get back a report that says you're like a 3% match. It's pretty normal to have a low match rate, which is why we work with these reports, is to help you up that percentage. The second piece of being a better match to a job is customizing your resume to meet those gaps that we identified, whether in the job scan report or just by looking at a job posting. You should be customizing your resume to suit the job you're applying for. And in many cases, our learners have a few copies of their resumes when they are applying for jobs. Here in Career Services, we have many resources to help you in this process. Using resources like AI, I prefer ChatGPT. That's just my preference though. As a tool, we can customize and strengthen those resumes to include some of the gaps we identified. I do want to give a quick disclaimer. You should only use AI as a resource tool. You want to be as authentic and true to yourself as possible. And if you're using AI to write your profile summaries or your work history or your entire resume for you, the company's going to expect you to live up to that. And if you can't live up to that language or skill set, you're probably not going to keep that dream job for very long. But it is a great tool to utilize, and it's a great tool to list as something that you can do for a technical skill to be resourceful on your resume for sure. To use ChatGPT in this area, I like to ask AI to help me add in some of those words I need to incorporate. Let's hop into the next slide, and I'm going to show you an example. Taking this as an example, I asked ChatGPT to help me add some skills into my resume or a resume if I'm working with a learner. Looking through the suggested language, I'm going to see how it best suits me or my learner. As you can see, ChatGPT gave me a good amount of text here. Since I'm only using this as a tool to help me paraphrase in some of these skills, I want you to ask yourself where you can plug in some of this phrasing in your resume. I encourage definitely not to copy and paste a whole paragraph. Rather, just use some of these phrases to help you kind of add in some of those skill gaps we identified. Or if you're having a little bit of writer's block, use it as motivation or to kind of help you get moving along in things like your profile summary or your work history. But please don't copy and paste. Again, you want to be authentic, true to yourself. Paraphrase, use ChatGPT as a tool. We definitely don't want you, having ChatGPT write your resume. If you want to learn more about how to use ChatGPT or AI platforms as a tool for your resume writing, our own career advisors, Katie Green and Monica Sykes, today are presenting on an AI platform called Skills First that you can access with your SNHU credentials, as well as AI generated resumes today, which would be a great session to add to your lineup. And again, I'll plug it. Please reach out to us here on Career Services if you want to chat about how to incorporate any type of AI platform into your career search journey. Time for another temp check. Let's hit those react emojis and let us know who is already using AI in your career or application and resume writing journey. Let's do a thumbs up for yes and a heart for no. So I'm going to be, again, giving you a thumbs up. Probably can't see it, but I'm going to double dip. I'm going to give you a heart emoji as well. Prior to this job, I probably would not have been comfortable enough using a tool like AI. I definitely would have been somebody that would have needed some guidance from a career advisor to use this. But I do use it now. I love it. I swear by it. And I would love to help any of you that are feeling, overwhelmed or unsure how to use it. Now let's get to the good stuff. Here are the resources I want to show you to use today. We're going to do professional development certifications and your education. Let's talk about all those professional trainings and courses you've done over the years at work and for school. Yes, they count, and they count big. On all my resume templates, I have an entire section titled professional development or competency-based learning. But What if you have little work experience, or you have been self employed and not doing PD, or returning to the job search after 10-year work gap, changing careers altogether with no experience? What do you do for professional development then? You ask your career advisor for suggestions, or now that you're in the know, you are going to hop online and search for free professional development courses and add them into your resume. Pro tip from me, I encourage you to be intentional with your searches in the courses that you choose. Remember, you're looking to fill gaps and help match a job or industry better. Let me show you an example. We'll hop into the next slide. As an example, in this posting, you can pull out a bunch of things here. You're going to know whether you're missing those different types of qualifications or skills. Here, they mention engagement, organizational skills, detail-oriented, self-motivated, written and verbal skills, communication skills, and specific to this job, they're looking for experience with volunteer work and volunteers. So to help you match better to this job, if you're missing these on your resume or you want to enhance these qualifications, list any professional development you might have done in alignment with these, or search for some online opportunities to do over the weekend. Here, I would search for free professional development courses on, and then I'd list some of those skill sets that I mentioned above, like organization, communication, etc. Coursera is a great resource for this, but there are many other ones as well, such as the Muse, and Top Resume has some good ones as well. Here's an example from my personal resume that I use as a visual with my students on how to list professional development on your resume. You can see that I list the name of the training, the seminar, the course, etc., and then the year I took it, followed by a few of the learning objectives that the course or seminar focused on. If looking to fill specific gaps and keywords missing on your resume, you want to focus on those missing areas and find ways to write a narrative around it. For the first training I listed on leadership, I customized it to fit the following keywords: adapting behavior, positive attitude, and manages a changing environment. This training had all these skills covered, but the objectives were not listed exactly how I needed them to give me that best match. So I paraphrased the bullet points and I made them the best fit for me. Professional development is a great way to show you're dedicated to improving and growing professionally. It shows that you foster a lifelong love of learning and a fantastic way to fill in gaps or skills, words in education, all of the things that you might be missing on your resume. These trainings would be fantastic for gaps in leadership training, critical skills, active listening, empathy, and much more. And just like I wanted to focus on, this can help you be a better match for a company over the weekend. Next up is certifications. And as a pro tip, did you know as an SNHU student, faculty, staff member, or alumni, you have access free to LinkedIn Learning. Another way to fill these resume gaps to be a better match is to complete some certifications. This not only helps you match better, but it helps you stand out against other candidates. Websites like LinkedIn Learning, The Forage, and HubSpot, just to name a few, can help you gain knowledge and earn a certification, some in just under an hour. Let me know who's taking certification courses and who is not. Let's do a round of applause emoji if you are doing certifications or professional development on sites like LinkedIn Learning. Give me a heart emoji if you have not. I'm going to give you an applause because I love LinkedIn Learning. I love HubSpot. I love The Forage. There's so many fantastic sites that I love that I've been doing professional development and certification courses for over the last couple of years. Whether you're looking at a job posting or using a report from JobScan, here's how I like to add certifications to resumes over the weekend to be a standout candidate and match better to your desired job. Here we can see the skills and qualifications listed for a media management position. If the JobScan report or you and your career advisor see some gaps that need filling, there are a few websites I love to use for these types of certifications. There are two ways we can approach this. If you have that JobScan report in front of you, then you know what you're missing and you can work off that. If you don't have a job scan report in front of you, you can simply look at the job posting to determine what skills and qualifications you do and do not have. Then we're going to determine what can be outsourced and where. And finally, what you could look like for those types of certification courses. If you're looking at this list, are there any of these skills and experiences you learned and have applied in your education journey? Maybe your previous employment, some volunteer work you might have done, or professional development? If the answer is yes, make a note where you can add that skill set or focus your certification search in. Here is what I mean by this. I know that sounded a little confusing. Let me show you. I make a note to do or move to, or I teach my learners, make a note to do or move to. Here you can see that I am assigning these skills as either needs to be done or move to. I'm going to add that maybe to a specific section of my resume. After you have your assignments done, we can start looking for certification courses. When you look at this to-do list, you might see that we could merge those membership, management, and development skill sets together. So I might look for a course that's focused on something around membership development or management and then group it together. Then I might look for leadership and marketing. I'm probably going to focus on those alone. And then the others, I have notated that I have experience here. I just need to list it out. So I'm going to kind of assign those to where I want to put those on my resume. I am going to link a list of all my go-to websites in your take-home goodie bag at the end of this presentation. So don't worry about trying to keep up writing these all down. I want you to feel present and know that you're going to get all these at the end. So once you have completed a course, you're going to be issued a certification or a certificate. Here's one I just did this past fall to give you an example as a visual. Now we want to get it on your resume. When you signed up for that course or when you're looking for a course, one important thing to look at is the course details or the learning objectives to assure the course is the right fit for your needs. I was going to say or. Sorry, I messed that up a little bit. You want to look for both. You want to look at the course details and the learning objectives to make sure that course is going to best suit your needs. These are also great tools for getting those skills listed on your resume and highlight a little bit about what you might have taken away from the certification. When you've completed the course or the certification and you're ready to list it on your resume, you want to have the name of the course, the issuing institution, and a few skills that you gained. Let's take a look at the next slide. In the resume templates I use in my learners, I have an entire section for certifications and licenses, which is appropriately where this is going to go. As I mentioned in the previous slide, you want to list the name of the certification, the issuing organization, and the year that it was issued. I also like to add in a few bullet points or add in some of those course objectives. But as a quick disclaimer, if you are an overachiever or if you have multiple certifications from multiple platforms, this might be formatted differently so that it doesn't take up a lot of real estate on your resume. I'm starting to get to that point right now where I'm going to need to start formatting my certifications differently. For now, this format that you're seeing would be focused on a resume that maybe has 5 or less certifications. And to make sure that you're maximizing the certification, you want to look at the job description, job scan report, and your to-do list to make sure your phrasing in the course and certificate best matches the role. You have all been so amazing so far. I cannot thank you enough. And I thought maybe before we get to the last 2 ways that I like to fill in gaps, I'd love to hear what you guys are all studying, what programs you have studied. If you're an alumni, what's your degree in? Let's take a quick pause, write in the chat some of the programs or studies or degrees that you're doing. If you need to stretch your legs, please feel free to do so. And I just want to kind of give you a quick couple second break. I'll let you know a little bit about me. I have multiple undergraduate degrees in education, and I am currently finishing my master's in public relations. So it's a little bit about my educational journey. I'm really excited to see what you guys are studying. All right, we are ready to tackle the last gap filler for today. And as I mentioned earlier, these are just a few ways that you can fill some gaps. We have many other ideas, suggestions, tools, resources we can share with you here in Career Services. So please get in touch if you want to learn more. Education as a gap filler? Why, yes. Pro tip to fill in gaps on your resume using your resume's education section. You can use the learning objectives, course descriptions, and for my alumni, you can use the course description in the academic catalogs for courses you took or the syllabus library. And I'm going to put those in the goodie bag for you to access as well in case you need them. Here's how I do it. The best way to use education and courses and coursework to fill in resume gaps is to identify the gap is not actually a gap, but it is actually something that you've done in one or more of your courses, but you just haven't focused on it, listed it, or highlighted it yet. And now you want to showcase it because it's going to help you match better to this job. So if you remember the class name, you can search it in the academic catalog, or you can look in the syllabus library, look back through the course and the modules to kind of stimulate your memory on how you can showcase these words and skills and use it to help you match better. Just for an example, I pulled here a project management course from one of our healthcare verticals, just as an example, and I want to show you a couple ways that we can format this. You can choose the style that best suits you. These are just examples. So the course name of the course you took, for an example that we're using, was the project management in healthcare. And then the resume gap that you needed to assign to your education section was project management. So let's take a look at how we can put these two things together and fill in that resume gap. Filling in gaps with your education on your resume can take a few formats. Really, it's going to be up to you how you want to incorporate it in. The key is to remember two very important things. Please be true and please be authentic. Don't fib or stretch the truth about concentrations or focuses, and please never lie in list courses that you did not take. This is why we use professional development or certifications to fill those gaps that maybe your education or job experience can't. Don't panic and be untruthful when there are plenty of ways that I just showed you today how to be honest and gain some of those skills and fill those gaps that you need. This is the number one goal for me here today, is to show you that and to give you that confidence to be able to do that. The summary of this slide really is just focusing on formatting gaps that we've identified in project management and quality management, and to show you that showcasing skills and knowledge that you have learned is a great way to help you match better to any job using your education section. To learn more about filling gaps with other types of things like your professional experience, it is all in the wording. Or networking, join professional associations and groups and networks and social media platforms to help you fill those gaps. Today's presentation, like I said, is just a couple ways that we can work with you to help you be the best match to a job. Connect with your career advisor and learn more ways that we can work together and teach you how to use these resources and ways to fill those resume gaps. Make sure to sign up or watch or head back to see the recordings of some of the following presentations I mentioned during this presentation. Some stream at the same time, but the recordings you'll be able to see on our website or our YouTube channel. These are the ones that I mentioned, well, a couple of the ones I mentioned. I did not mention the one by Ben. He is doing resume writing. That would be a great prequel to this presentation. So if you want to learn about resume writing, Ben is fantastic. He actually did a lot of my resume writing training when I started in this department. And I mentioned Angie Woods is going to be using education to bridge the gap between your experience. So when you're missing the types of experience on your resume, those 1 to 3 years experience, she's going to show you how you can fill that gap. And then Monica and Katie are going to be doing Skills First, which is our AI platform that we partner with to write resumes. Brooke and Jenn are turning setbacks into comebacks. And Pete Bartell is going to be teaching you how to use X, which was formerly Twitter, to professionally network. So when you need to network and build your skill set and the people that you know, he's going to teach you how to use Twitter to do that. It's kind of one of the most Untalked about professional networks, we tend to focus a lot on LinkedIn. Obviously, it's the most professional network out there, but Pete's going to talk to you a lot today about using Twitter if you're interested in using how to use another social media platform. So tying it all together, addressing resume gaps, as you can see, is really crucial for landing a job and advancing your career, as well as enhancing your overall employment ability. You can be a better match just in a weekend. Thank you so much for attending my Career Day presentation on filling in the gaps. I hope you enjoyed our time together. We're going to attach that take-home goodie bag resource worksheet in the chat now. Please reach out. Let us know if you're having any issues accessing these. If you have any questions, please connect with the Career Services Department. And let me get you some of that information on here. Here is how to connect with us online, cocecareer@snhu.edu. The number is 888-672-1458. If you are a campus student, it's campus development at snhu.edu, or you can call 603-645-9793. SNHU staff, we have an internal career coach at internalcareercoaching@snhu.edu. If you want to connect with us on Handshake, you can go to the joinhandshake.com or SNHU Connect, which is www.snhuconnect.com. We are going to link in our socials in there for you as well. It has been a pleasure talking with you about resume gaps today. I really hope to chat with as many of you as possible. Please feel free to give us a call here at the Global Campus Career Center, and I look forward to meeting as many of you as possible.